Welcome to Todd Talk. Today I'm going to tell you about my bathroom art.
Todd Talk is brought to you by Plodorkin. Ask your doctor if Plodorkin is right for you.
Boy, oh boy, how far back do I go with this? Let's go back about 12 years. So back in 2009, 2010, I was single and I was really involved in a lot of art projects. I was making short films, I was making music, different things like that. There's a group of people that I got involved with who would do film races. So we would do like the 48-hour film race, where basically you would get together and they would assign you a topic and like you'd get like a genre and some required elements that needed to be in your script. And then you had 48 hours to write and film and edit and deliver a short film. As you can imagine, it's pretty stressful. You don't get a lot of sleep. You're kind of go, go, go. Nerves are on edge. You're drinking a lot of caffeine, but it's also a lot of fun. You're hanging out with people who are like-minded, working on a project. And really, as an adult, the problem about being creative is finding time. And so things like a 24-hour film festival or a 48-hour film festival, they force you to make a thing. And that's a pretty cool thing. So this group I was working with, there was this one girl who was part of it, and she and I ended up kind of hitting it off. She was really different than anybody I'd dated before. She was really, really funny, very, very smart, a lot of great ideas about things, and just really a different, very quirky individual. While we were dating, I got to meet all kinds of her friends. I got to meet her sister and her sister's boyfriend. She had a couple of roommates that were a gay couple, and they were really, really cool. She had one friend who had a matching tattoo, and it's not matching in that it was the same. It was matching as though if you put the two tattoos together, they would match up. And now this particular friend was dating a guy named Adam. I remember when I first met this guy and both feeling very kindred and very confused about him. He was a very good-looking guy, very into fitness, worked out a lot, very healthy as far as how he ate, didn't drink. And he was very, very difficult to read. He had a really bizarre sense of humor, which I appreciated, and we also lined up on a few other things as far as like the types of movies and music and things like that we liked. A few times we did hang out, we would mostly talk about writing, which we both did. We would talk about playing in bands, which we both did, things like that. So this girl and I, we dated for about a year, we had a lot of fun, and we ended up breaking up. Now, many, many years later, I have a coworker who was in a band and he was playing a show downtown. So I went to the venue and I was hanging out, and there was another band that was setting up that was playing on the same bill as them, and I recognized the bass player. It was Adam. So he happened to look up and notice me and was like, "Oh my gosh, there's Todd." And even though we hadn't seen each other in a few years, we kind of hit it off and we were talking and, catching up a little bit. And then he said, "Hang on, I have something for you." So he goes over to his gear and he gets this little backpack or duffel bag and he opens it up and he pulls out this rolled up poster. And he says, "Here, put this in your bathroom or something." And so I did. So this piece of art has hung on my bathroom wall for years now. And to be completely honest, if I saw this in a store, it's probably not the kind of thing I would have been drawn to or that I would have bought. But I absolutely love this drawing. I'll put it up on the screen. So basically, it's these drawings of really diverse faces with a quote underneath each of them. And the quotes are so overly positive that you just can't help but smile or feel better when you read them. And I can't tell you how many times it just catches my eye and I will just kind of go over them or read a couple of them, and it is unusually effective. I'm not sure if he sells them or if they are available or if it's just like I was lucky and happened to get the only one left. But it's important to have those sorts of things. Many, many years before I even dated this girl, I was in a relationship that ended really badly. And that relationship ending affected many, many of my relationships going forward. I was a very untrusting and very jealous sort of person for a long time. And ultimately, that's what ended up messing up the relationship with this girl. But hopefully over the years, you start to recognize where you have these failings or where you have these opportunities, and you do something to work on them. And sometimes these things never go away. And things like mindfulness or meditation or a really positive piece of art on your bathroom wall are the kinds of things you need to keep you on track. Adam has an Instagram with a lot of his art on it. I'll leave a link in the description so you can check it out. And that's the story of my bathroom art. So I hope you all find ways to keep yourselves happy and healthy, and I hope you have a Happy New Year.